Putin's face. Sorry, Putin.
We are? Or I am?
Nah, I am. Right? I'll move that around.
Just put us in the center.
You should.
Hey, here.
Just block out the CNN
No,
logo.
Up. Like right in the center. A little more down. Up. To the left. All right, to the right. My bad. Perfect. Yes, this works. It's like, hey, where you guys sitting?
Why do I gotta be on Trump's side?
Hmm?
I'm on Trump's side.
Well, it's because you're black. See, this is why if I'm there, they're gonna scream at me.
So we have 2 members of the Illuminati planning their next geopolitical move to take over the world and hack elections. So we're gonna listen to Putin and his Putin puppet. It's all sarcasm, by the way. I don't believe this Russia hacking bullshit. He does, because he's on the team.
I'll slap your head off.
He's on the team.
I'm on no team. How dare you?
Yeah, let's watch some of this.
Well, you look rough about it.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw it. I was told by you.
Because I'm black.
No, it's because you're a punk.
Yeah.
Distinguished Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen,
Identify by color. My name is Jordan.
negotiations with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, took place in a frank and business-like atmosphere. I think we can call it a success and a very fruitful round of negotiations. We carefully analyzed the current status, the present and the future of the Russia-United States relationship, key issues of the global agenda. It's quite clear to everyone that the bilateral relationship are going through a complicated stage, and yet those impediments, the current tension, the tense atmosphere, essentially have no solid reason behind it. The Cold War is a thing of past. The era of acute ideological confrontation of the 2 countries is a thing of remote past, is a vestige of the past. The situation in the world changed dramatically. Today, both Russia and the United States face a whole new set of challenges. Those include a dangerous maladjustment of mechanisms for maintaining international security and stability, regional crises, the creeping threats of terrorism and transnational crime.
I don't care about this. I want to hear about hacking.
More land to take. That's what you guys care about.
On the disarmament agenda, military and technical cooperation.
Yeah. Geopolitical.
Cooperation within the recently concluded world, nudging the Ukrainian leadership and encourage it to work actively in this. We paid more attention to economic ties and economic cooperation. It's clear that both countries, the businesses of both countries are interested in this. American delegation was one of the largest delegations in the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. It featured over 500 representatives of American businesses. Working group on cybersecurity, the establishment of times, including during our personal contacts, that the Russian state has never interfered and is not going to interfere into internal American affairs, including the election process.
He's lying already.
Really?
He's doing it right now. You
Yeah.
think he's holding a piece of paper? That's really a tablet, and he's hacking into elections all around the world. And
You know, he hacked into my tablet this morning. I was trying to vote on what's the best breakfast. You know, eggs, oatmeal, or Captain Crunch, and well, he hacked it.
you know who's gonna win this high school presidency in our town? We don't know, but he does. He's already fixed it.
Even the prom king and
rigged.
queen.
It's rigged.
Well, what about most likely to succeed? Most popular? Most funny? Best couple?
It'll all be his surrogate children. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna hack the emails of the potential prom queen, the one he doesn't want to win. He's gonna expose all the dirt on her. He won't even lie about the information. It'll all be true information. You know, her slapping babies, constant littering.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, littering. So it's everybody, even though it's true, we have to disregard it. We have to disregard it. It doesn't count. It's like a court case, right? It's like you're being tried for murder, and I have some evidence that wasn't approved already. We have to disregard the evidence, even though it's probably 100% true. It's like, what? You're let go. You're free.
It's because it may or may not have come from Russia.
Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? It's like, well, even though it's true,
you want to know who cares?
It's from them. It's from Russia.
You know who cares? CNN cares. We're gonna find that out in a second.
Any specific material, if such things arise, we are ready to analyze together. For instance, we can analyze them through the joint working group on cybersecurity, the establishment of which we discussed during our previous contacts. And clearly, it's past time we restore our cooperation in the cultural area, in the humanitarian area. As far as I think you know that recently we hosted the American Congressman delegation, and now it's perceived and portrayed almost as a historic event, although it should have been just a current affairs, just the business as usual. And in this regard, we mentioned this proposal to the President. We have to think about the practicalities of our cooperation, but also about the rationale, the underlying logic of it. And we have to engage experts on bilateral relationship who know history and the background of our relationship. The idea is to create an expert council that would include political scientists, prominent diplomats and former military experts in both countries who would look for points of contact between the two countries, that would look for ways on putting the relationship on the trajectory of growth. In general, we are glad with the outcome of our first full-scale meeting, because previously we only had a chance to talk briefly on international fora. We had a good conversation with President Trump, and I hope that we start to understand each other better, and I'm grateful to Donald for it. Clearly, there are some challenges left when we were not able to clear all the backlog, but I think that we made the first important step in this direction. And in conclusion, I want to...
Alright, so what I'm hearing is when he says work together, he means just Russia working with Russia, because Russia owns Donald Trump. Since Russia owns Donald Trump, it's just Russia working with Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
Russia.
So Trump is going to change his mind on the Iran nuclear deal. He's going to, look for a more peaceful option.
No, you can't.
It's Russian propaganda.
Well, you can't, because even if the outcome was more peaceful, it would mean he's with Russia, so he can't do it. Basically, if it was either him holding up a Russian flag or millions of innocents dying, the innocents have to die.
Well, he took the military stance. He took I can see a potential war with Iran in a couple of years. Now that I jumped out of the Iran nuclear deal. Let's allow them to even hint at creating a nuclear weapon. It's like that gives us a reason to go in there and fuck them up.
Give me carte blanche.
And then we'll hand Iran over to Israel.
It's like
everybody wins.
I'm a cop and I'm drunk. I can do whatever I want. It's like
oh yeah, this is. You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
I'll read it. Mr. Spink says, the cucks on Fox are losing their minds. Dude on Democracy Now! Just said Trump will begin to kill journalists in the streets. Fuck. Their mainstream media is comparing the summit to Chamberlain giving over to Hitler. Putin references Soros at the end. Wait for it. I did hear that he does reference. There was a jab at George Soros.
It's like, hold on. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to cover the summit. Trump walks behind him from the West Coast like beat. There will not be except on my block, okay?
A walk by.
Okay. It's a walk by.
Yeah. I mean,
My Glock 45, yes. Perfect. Excellent. Witty.
See, I used to love Democracy Now! Then something changed.
You sold out.
Well, I stopped watching and then they changed. But before that, I'm like, they actually did like a fucking debate about like the 9/11 conspiracy. They had guys claiming, you know, whatever, the government took the buildings down, or there was no way just 2 planes knocked the building down. They at least held a debate about it, no matter what side you fall on.
So they sold out.
And years later, it's like,
So they sold out. Or
I don't know.
they were just.
I think some people are so adamant about getting rid of Trump.
Do you know what's? Okay, let's.
Or like probably Fox, like dick riding Trump.
Hey man, they got that saddle ready and gear going.
The parting of the seas.
All I'm saying is this: it's like, even if you do get rid of him, do you know who will be next in line?
Yeah, Pence.
Not a great idea. Not great.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we did it, man. We got rid of him. Wee. Guess who's next, bitch? Guess who's next? He ain't any better. He might be a little worse. Have fun with that, you know?
Fuck.
So you ignorant fucks, I had enough.
I don't see
Impeach. I'm like, guess what's next, buddy? What's next after that? What happens? Well, we're happy after that. It's a personal win for us.
Yeah. I should actually pull up some of the tweets out there. I'm like, holy shit. Like, they're so on this bandwagon of Russia ruined everything for us.
Whatever.
And Trump, anti-Trump no matter what. Except when he bombs someone, then they're cool. They're okay with it.
Point out that this atmosphere of cooperation is something that we are especially grateful for to our Finnish hosts. We are grateful for Finnish people and Finnish leadership for what they've done. I know that we've caused some inconvenience to Finland and we apologize for it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.
That's two.
Thank you. I've just concluded a meeting with President Putin
Gotta go like this.
on a wide range of critical issues for both of our countries. We had direct, open, deeply productive dialogue. Went very well. Before I begin, I want to thank President Niinisto of Finland for graciously hosting today's summit.
You should have just said,
I don't care, Trump.
You should have said, I want to thank her. She's like, you say, I want to thank her? Thanks.
Yeah, he said he does do a lot of saying nothing.
It's filler. They all do it.
It was great. It's fantastic.
They all do it. It's
Details, man.
It's did you or did you not go with her in that room and do physical activities? Well, I was with her in the room and we occupied a lot of space. And once I tell you that many people here would not understand that, and what I'm referencing is the ability to occupy space within the room and with its parameter and all circumstances. It's like, what? You didn't say anything. Tell us!
I want to congratulate Russia and President Putin for having done such an excellent job in hosting the World Cup. It was really one of the best ever.
You don't watch
and
it.
your team also did very well.
Your team?
It was a great job. I'm here today to continue the proud tradition of bold American diplomacy. From the earliest days of our republic, American leaders have understood that diplomacy and engagement is preferable to conflict and hostility. A productive dialogue is not only good for the United States and good for Russia, but it is good for the world.
Also, if you don't think Trump's gonna fucking milk this thing, if he's not gonna be like buddy up to Russia and Putin, just so the media goes crazy about it. He's like, yeah, pay attention to this, assholes.
There's a cow, right? He's like, watch
He's been
this.
doing it since he's been running.
He has his sleeves, rolls them up. It's like his arms are brolic as fuck. There's like the cow. He's like,
Too much.
yes,
Too much.
yes,
Too visual.
yes. And the bucket.
Yeah, too visual.
The disagreements between our two countries are well known, and President Putin and I
He's milking the cow.
discussed them at length today. But if we're going to solve many of the problems facing our world, then we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. Too often in both recent past and long ago, we have seen the consequences when diplomacy is left on the table. We have also seen the benefits of cooperation. In the last century, our nations fought alongside one another in the Second World War. Even during the tensions of the Cold War, when the world looked much different than it does today, the United States and Russia were able to maintain a strong dialogue.
More land.
But our relationship has never been worse than it is now.
Really good.
However, that changed as of about 4 hours ago. I really believe that. Nothing would be easier politically than to refuse to meet, to refuse to engage, but that would not accomplish anything. As president, I cannot make decisions on foreign policy in a futile effort to appease partisan critics or the media or Democrats who want to do nothing but resist and obstruct.
At least remember what you're gonna say. I'm reading everything off a piece of paper.
You should try that in Iran, man.
What?
It's like,
Oh,
I don't see any harm in talking to someone. Iran. Honestly. They don't even really have, political leadership.
Assad.
That's Syria.
Still. I'm not gonna,
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
Assad
confuse the
too.
two. I'm just saying there's Palestine and there's Assad over there. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, Assad was a simple one to be able to just talk to him.
I don't know what they're doing. We won the war and they say we did chemical attacks. You did it. It was you. I was told. That means I know. It's like, yo, even if he's a fucked up dude, just don't lie to me.
Constructive dialogue between the United States and Russia afforded the opportunity to open new pathways toward peace and stability in our world. I would rather take a political risk in pursuit of peace than to risk peace in pursuit of politics.
Wait.
As president, I will always put what is best for America and what is best for the American people.
I ain't gonna do that.
During today's meeting, I addressed directly with President Putin the issue of Russian interference in our elections. I felt this was a message best delivered in person. Spent a great deal of time talking about it, and President Putin may very well want to address it, and very strongly, because he feels very strongly about it, and he has an interesting idea.
By the way, the guy who's bringing up the fucking headline things. The guy who's bringing up the headline things.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like he just said that. The fuck?
I know. I love it. It's like this.
Gotta be
It's
robots.
Like, no, watch. You see, he has a fucking what you call it, typo. It's like, what was it? I saw the seashell down by the seashore. And he's like it fucks up. Then he puts it in. It's like what do you call it? Freudian slip at the end of he fucks up. He puts fuck at the end of it. Trump. I saw the seashells.
We also discussed one of the most critical challenges facing humanity: nuclear proliferation. I provided an update on my meeting last month with Chairman Kim on the denuclearization of North Korea, and after today, I am very sure that President Putin and Russia want very much to end that problem, going to work with us, and I appreciate that commitment. The President and I also discussed the scourge.
What happened? This is still streaming. Yeah, check that shit.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Don't talk to me like that.
Bet CNN kicked us off.
Like, who are these two super cool guys? No, John fucking snitched us out, probably. He's like, you're not taking my CNN. No, I'm just kidding. I swear, if he's like, what's wrong with CNN?
And after today,
We good.
I am very sure that President Putin and Russia
Why is that
want
doing
very
that?
much to end that problem.
Go back to it. Go back to
Going
it.
to work with us, and I appreciate that commitment.
We good.
I guess we're good.
President and I also
Whole lot of saying nothing.
Yeah, because of this thing. Yeah, we just leave it there. Whatever.
John better comment on this. I expect him to.
Alright. Sorry about that. Onward.
of radical Islamic terrorism. Both Russia and the United States have suffered horrific terrorist attacks, and we have agreed to maintain open communication between our security agencies to protect our citizens from this global menace. Last year, we told Russia about a planned attack in St. Petersburg, and they were able to stop it cold.
Global menace.
They found them, they stopped them, there was no doubt about it. I appreciated President Putin's phone call afterwards to thank me. I also emphasized the...
It's like, yeah, he called me. He said thanks. He liked me. He liked it. It's like, why are you telling me this? Tell me the shit I want to hear. It's a whole lot of filler. Just being honest.
I think he's walking through like his... That was definitely a part of his campaign thing. Right?
It's like,
Why
no.
not work with Russia?
It's like there's
Get rid of ISIS.
there's a minefield, right? And he had someone build like a bridge for him. You know, he's just, so yeah, I'm walking through. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
None of you are.
At the same...
None of these guys are, man.
I do understand them wanting to get rid of ISIS. But I think there's like a tactical way to do it. Right? That's not, you know, just blow them up and shoot them.
Honestly, I wouldn't even try to kill him.
It's like, just cut off resources. How are they getting ammo?
Exactly.
Check again.
Oh, okay. It's like I was saying.
Check again.
Holy fuck, you tyrant.
I swear this is
Expect an
CNN.
apology after that. He had someone build like a bridge for him. There you go, we're fine. You know, it's just, yeah, I'm walking. I'm sorry, James. No problem, Jordan. You know, I didn't mean to be a tyrant.
Is it the
It's
same
okay.
one?
Yeah.
Maybe we're on a 30-second delay. Alright, fine.
Anyway, yeah, we're probably we might be the ones who are linked to the guys funding them, you know. So it's like, even if there is people out there like that, it's like we help make them probably, and then they're there.
Before it was like known as like Saudi Arabia and Qatar, we stopped funding Qatar, but we definitely fund Saudi Arabia.
Give a whole bunch of shit to Saudi Arabia,
so they can, you know.
It's basically like this.
Massacre Yemen, basically.
It's like a kid, right? Man, all I need is a studio. And then a guy who's a talent agent comes up to the guy. He's like, "Listen, man, I'm gonna give you $1 billion. Make your dream a reality." Kid's not that great, but he goes on to sell 4 platinum.
Where are you going with that?
It's funding people, man.
Ah, you could have just said funding.
No,
you say it with anything. Well, alright.
Importance
I get
of
what he
placing
means now.
pressure on Iran to halt its nuclear ambitions and to stop its campaign of violence throughout the area, throughout the Middle East. As we discussed at length, the crisis in Syria is a complex one. Cooperation between our two countries has the potential to save hundreds of thousands of lives.
Okay.
I also made clear that the United States will not allow Iran to benefit from our successful campaign against ISIS. We have just about eradicated ISIS in the area. We also agreed that representatives from our national security councils will meet to follow up on all of the issues we addressed today and to continue the progress we have started right here in Helsinki. Today's meeting is only the beginning of a longer process, but we have taken the first steps toward a brighter future and one with a strong dialogue and a lot of thought. Our expectations are grounded in realism, but our hopes are grounded in America's desire for friendship, cooperation, and peace. And I think I can speak on behalf of Russia when I say that also. President Putin, I want to thank you again for joining me for these important discussions and for advancing open dialogue between Russia and the United States. Our meeting carries on a long tradition of diplomacy between Russia, the United States, for the greater good of all. And this was a very constructive day. This was a very constructive few hours that we spent together. It's in the interest of both of our countries to continue our conversation, and we have agreed to do so. I'm sure we'll be meeting again in the future, often. And hopefully we will solve every one of the problems that we discussed today. So, again, President Putin, thank you very much.
Told you. Told you.
Господа президенты, сейчас журналисты смогут задать по два вопроса.
Now the journalists would have a chance to ask two questions, two sets of questions each. First, the Russian journalist will ask the question. Please give your affiliation. Good afternoon. My name is Alexei Meshkov, Interfax Information Agency. I have a question to President Trump. During your recent European tour, you've mentioned that the implementation of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline makes Europe a hostage of Russia, and you suggested that you could free Europe from this by supplying American LNG. But this cold winter actually showed that the current model, mechanism of supply of fuel to Europe is quite viable. At the same time, as far as I know, US had to buy even Russian gas for Boston. I have a question. The implementation of your idea has a political tinge to it, or is it a practical one? Because there will be a gap formed in the supply and demand mechanism. And first, it's the consuming countries who will fall into this gap. And the second question, before the meeting with President Putin, you called him an adversary, a rival, and yet you expressed hope that you will be able to bring this relationship to a new level. Did you manage to do this?
No, actually, I called him a competitor, and a good competitor he is. And I think the word competitor. But we have lots of sources now, and the United States is much different than it was a number of years ago when we weren't able to extract what we can extract today. So today we're number one in the world at that, and I think we'll be out there competing very strongly. Thank you very much.
We're good at extracting.
If I may, I throw in some
natural
2
gas.
cents. We talked to Mr. President, including this subject as well. We are aware of the stance of President Trump, and I think that we, as a major oil and gas power, and the United States is a major oil and gas power as well, we could work together on regular
U.S. foolishness, stupidity, and the Mueller probe that is responsible for the decline in U.S. relations with Russia.
Economic entities dispute will be settled in the Stockholm Arbitration Court.
The first question from the U.S. journalist goes to Jeff Mason from Reuters.
Free smoke.
Thank you. Mr. President, you tweeted this morning that it's U.S. foolishness, stupidity, and the Mueller probe that is responsible for the decline in U.S. relations with Russia.
Probably.
Do you hold Russia at all accountable for anything in particular? And if so, what would you consider them that they are responsible for?
Yes, I do. I hold both countries responsible. I think that the United States has been foolish. I think we've all been foolish. We should have had this dialogue a long time ago, a long time, frankly, before I got to office. And I think we're all to blame. I think that the United States now has stepped forward along with Russia, and we're getting together, and we have a chance to do some great things, whether it's nuclear proliferation in terms of stopping. We have to do it. Ultimately, that's probably the most important thing that we can be working on. But I do feel that we have both made some mistakes. I think that the probe is a disaster for our country. I think it's kept us apart. It's kept us separated. There was no collusion at all. Everybody knows it. People are being brought out to the fore. So far that I know, virtually none of it related to the campaign. And they're going to have to try really hard to find somebody that did relate to the campaign. It was a clean campaign. I beat Hillary Clinton easily, and frankly, we beat her. And I'm not even saying from the standpoint, we won that race. And it's a shame that there can even be a little bit of a cloud over it. People know that, people understand it, but the main thing, and we discussed this also, is zero collusion. And it has had a negative impact upon the relationship of the two largest nuclear powers in the world. We have 90% of nuclear power between the two countries. It's ridiculous.
Fucking CNN is
Just wait.
So sketchy, man.
Oh, fuck them. Dude, ready? No. Let's
look at the headline.
I know, I just mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
But it's like, as soon as he says the Hillary thing, you hear the fucking cameras go. It's like, what do you call it? It's like a race. Girl with, like, big jokes, like, ready? The mall game. Remember, like, the racing games at the mall? It's like, ready? Go! It's like, stop. Oh, he's talking about Hillary now. Type it down. They don't even say anything. They just roll the blame. After this guy's been, like, constantly just everything he says, like, I gotta repeat it. I'm gonna keep this here. I'm gonna keep it here. Dude, they are a disgrace. A lot of them are. But, actually, all of them are. What am I saying? But fuck them too.
Him saying over like everyone knows that this is whatever false. Mm-hmm. It's like you need to go on Twitter, man. Check what's trending right now.
Yeah.
It's called the Treason Summit. # Treason Summit. That shit's trending right now. There's like a million tweets.
Oh my god.
It's like, no, not everybody knows this.
Is everybody a dumb fuck?
I think a lot of people are easily manipulated.
I don't know, man. It's like,
what's going on with that? It keeps like switching. Whatever. I think we're still good.
And the truth is, I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But all the evidence that I've been presented with, or at least that's been flat out there in front of everybody's faces, clearly, swings in the favor of, they had nothing to do with this at all. If anything, it just shows you how corrupt one side of the political party is, if not both of them. But still, just like the claims that are being made are just totally bogus.
Yeah, I think you asked me why.
No, I didn't.
Why?
It's a lie.
Okay, if the whole Russia thing's a lie, why would they do it?
I didn't ask you that.
Why would they say it?
Don't lie on camera. I did. I did. And I did.
And it's like,
look at them.
It's like things that popped in my head. It's like, are they really defending Hillary that much? And if you ask like a conspiracy theorist, it'd be like, well, maybe she has so many connections.
That's what I thought.
That if she goes down, they all go down with her.
I thought though, that. But I thought if shit really does hit the fan, they'll cut her loose. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, you really have to look at like some other guys in history that allegedly had like fucking like blackmail like so hard on all these other dudes. If they went down, and they're going down with them, there ain't no way. Like a whole bunch of people want to go down like that, And that's the end. So I don't know.
There's also forgot the name of the book. I think it's called Shattered. Some guy who was like inside the camp of Hillary Clinton during the election.
Yeah.
And he allegedly said that when she lost, she immediately was like, start tying Russia with Trump and stuff like that. Like,
oh shit.
But who knows?
You know that book, the Dr. Seuss book, Green Eggs and Ham? Speaks wonders. Yeah. They could learn something.
It's ridiculous what's going on with the probe.
For President Putin, if I could follow up as well, why should Americans and why should President Trump believe your statement that Russia did not intervene in the 2016 election, given the evidence that U.S. intelligence agencies have provided? And will you consider extraditing?
What evidence? There's nothing. There's literally
Let's hear him answer
nothing.
That. You can see him right.
And if there is anything, it's like, well, like then how the fuck does that make sense? You know? It's like, well, just pretend, and it does.
You can already see him half smiling.
12 Russian officials that were indicted last week by a U.S. grand jury.
Well, I'm going to let the president answer the second part of that question.
Try not to laugh.
But as you know, the whole concept of that came up perhaps a little bit before, but it came out as a reason why the Democrats lost an election, which frankly they should have been able to win because the Electoral College is much more advantageous for Democrats, as you know, than it is to Republicans. We won the Electoral College by a lot, 306 to 223, I believe, and that was a well-fought battle. We did a great job, and frankly, I'm going to let the president speak to the second part of your question, but just to say it one time again, and I say it all the time, there was no collusion. I didn't know the president. There was nobody to collude with. There was no collusion with the campaign. And every time you hear all of these, 12 and 14, it's stuff that has nothing to do, and frankly, they admit, these are not people involved in the campaign. But to the average reader out there, they're saying, well, maybe that does. It doesn't. And even the people involved, some perhaps told mis-stories, although in one case the FBI said there was no lie. There was no lie. Somebody else said there was. We ran a brilliant campaign, and that's why I'm president.
Wrong. You're president because of WikiLeaks. I would think that was the deciding factor. Straight up.
And a little help.
I mean, he has support. He has a shitload of supporters,
sure.
But the WikiLeaks shit just pushed everyone over the top. It's like, she's too corrupt. She's too blatantly corrupt for us to just look past it.
It's like, in this too.
We have no idea what this guy, so let's go ahead.
Like, I trusted you, Hill Dog. I trusted you, Balagle to Trump. It's like, what about Jill? It's like, I don't know who that is. Puts in the slot,
They probably got rid of more votes than people voting for Trump.
Probably.
They're like, I'm not voting this year. Fuck it.
I never voted.
Or they voted third party or something.
Gotta hand it to him though. He's funny.
Yeah.
We won because we were brilliant. Harry Potter's in the back. Brilliant. Yes.
You did a good job as far as winning a popularity contest. It wasn't very ethical, or there was no like giant moral stance there, but he made it off to be the more popular guy.
I remember watching him, like him and her talking. He was like, "Ron, you're going to jail." I'm like, "Holy fuck!" Like, who says that?
You're thinking of
it's a popularity contest. It's a TV show.
Yeah, you're thinking of when he said like, she says, "You were not this, you were not that."
Yeah.
Like, if I were, you'd be in jail.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Something like that.
It's like, fuck, man. I'm not pro-Trump or anything, but it's like, I don't like any of these guys, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, you killed someone. And you too. And the rest of you. Fuck you all. Fuck you all.
And there's a bunch of people that were like, I'd rather have Trump over Clinton, but as soon as he gets elected, that's when I'm going back to work, and it's just expose this story, expose that story. But there are a shitload of fanboys.
People think, oh yeah, trust me.
Like,
especially
always Trumpers.
Let's join the military because have fun with that, buddy. Have fun.
Yeah.
I saw videos of these kids. They're like my age, man. Or a little bit younger than me. Some of them had to be. But anyway, dude, I hope the mirror just shows them one day. It's like, you are a dumb fuck. You are a dumb fuck. Like, so dumb. Incredibly dumb.
Maybe.
No. It's the you gotta see. I don't know if I can find it. It was so bad.
Thank you. По поводу того, кому верить,
As to who is to be believed and to who is not to be believed,
никому нельзя верить.
you can trust no one if you take this. Where did you get this idea that President Trump trusts me or I trust him? He defends the interests of the United States of America, and I do defend the interests of the Russian Federation. We do have interests that are common. We are looking for points of contact. There are issues where our postures diverge, and we are looking for ways to reconcile our differences, how to make our effort more meaningful. We should not proceed from the immediate political interests that guide certain political powers in our countries. We should be guided by facts. Could you name a single fact that would definitively prove the collusion? This is utter nonsense. Just like the President recently mentioned. Yes, the public at large in the United States had a certain perceived opinion of the candidates during the campaign, but there's nothing particularly extraordinary about it. That's a usual thing. President Trump, when he was a candidate, he mentioned the need to restore the Russia-US relationship, and it's clear that a certain part of American society felt sympathetic about it, and different people could express their sympathy in different ways. But isn't that natural? Isn't it natural to be sympathetic towards a person who is willing to restore the relationship with our country, who wants to work with us? We heard the accusations about the Concord country. Well, as far as I know, this company hired American lawyers, and the accusations doesn't have a fighting chance in the American courts. So there's no evidence when it comes to the actual facts. So we have to be guided by facts, not by rumors. Now let's get back to the issue of these 12 alleged intelligence officers of Russia. I don't know the full extent of the situation, but the President Trump mentioned this issue, and I will look into it. So far, I can say the following. The things that off the top of my head.
Why can't it just be like rappers and they say, what do you think of Nas, JC? He's a bitch.
No, he's actually, he sounds...
I just meant in general.
He actually sounds like that.
I don't mean just him, it's just all the time. It's so like, you know, let's be honest.
He sounds pretty detailed to me.
I guarantee you right after this. I've been thinking about
we have an acting.
Why can't anybody just say it?
I think he is.
No, I mean anybody, everybody.
I don't know.
It's all the time. We just watched one before we did this.
I don't know. Well, you see one guy like flipping through pages and taking notes and writing shit down.
Yeah.
And you see one guy just standing there. It was wrong. It's lying. It could just be detailed.
I guess maybe.
Who knows? I don't take either one for blatantly honest, but detailed is enough to find something out.
I guess.
An existing agreement between the United States of America and the... We have an existing agreement between the United States of America and the Russian Federation, an existing treaty that dates back to 1999, the mutual assistance on criminal cases. This treaty is in full effect. It works quite efficiently. On average, we initiate about 150 criminal cases upon request from foreign states. For instance, the last year, there was one extradition case upon the request sent by the United States. So this treaty has specific legal procedures. We can offer that the appropriate commission headed by Special Attorney Mueller, he can use this treaty as a solid foundation and send an official request to us so that we would interrogate, would hold a questioning of these individuals who he believes are privy to some crimes. And our law enforcement are perfectly able to do this questioning and send the appropriate materials to the United States.
Sounds interesting. There's apparently some treaty in place to where Mueller can ask, it won't be what's it called? Not expedition. Is that it? Or you commit a crime against the United States, but you're somewhere else, and then they extradite. There you go.
Oh boy.
I don't think they're saying anything about extraditing anyone, but
I'm just saying, imagine it's like, okay, I whistleblowed and it was the right thing to do.
They plan on interrogating.
We can get you now.
But Mueller can ask for there to be an interrogation and bring the information back to the U.S. But I don't see that flying in any direction. Mueller's going to be like, how can we trust you? So we're not going to do it. Thus, it leaves him off the hook as far as their whole story of the Russia hacking shit. They can hold on to that story because they'll never actually seek the evidence or anything like that.
Oh, dance around it.
But they'll be able to say, we indicted 12 Russians. They'll be able to say that forever because there won't be a further inquiry.
Sure. It's
like how you do shit.
It's just like me arresting someone. Well, we arrested him. Yeah, on what grounds? You just did it. But you can say you did it.
I'll give you a better one. It's sort of like you suing a drug tester when you tested positive. Like, I'm suing this guy. And it doesn't mean you're going to win the evidence in court and everything, but you can come out and say, I sued them. And then I'll be like, let's look down on this tester, man. You went all the way to suing him? You went all the way to suing him, man?
Yeah.
That means he's probably right. The tester's some asshole. Alright.
Moreover, we can meet you halfway, we can make another step. We can actually permit official representatives of the United States, including the members of this very commission,
Alright.
headed by Mr. Mueller. We can let them into the country and they will be present to this questioning. But in this case, there's another condition. This kind of effort should be a mutual one. Then we would expect that the Americans would reciprocate and they would question officials, including the officers of law enforcement and intelligence services of the United States, whom we believe who have something to do with illegal actions on the territory of Russia.
So that's big news, man. That's sort of big news.
Well, it's important. It's like, we'll do it.
I don't think anyone's going to pay attention to it.
No, they won't say it. Look.
But that's fucking interesting. He said you can even have officials come to Russia and interrogate, be part of the interrogation itself. But in return, I want to be able to interrogate some of your guys that may have committed crimes against Russia or whatever.
You don't want that. So guess who interfered in their shit?
Oh.
Many there have been links to or reason to believe that we have done that to them. Our government.
For sure.
We should have a show called Hypocrisy Now.
Yeah.
Or a segment.
And we have to request the presence of our law enforcement. For instance, we can bring up Mr. Browder in this particular case. Business associates of Mr. Browder have earned over for $1.5 billion in Russia. They never paid any taxes, neither in Russia nor in the United States. And yet the money escaped the country. They were transferred to the United States. They sent a huge amount of money, $400 million, as a contribution to the campaign of Hillary Clinton. Well, that's their personal case. It might have been legal, the contribution itself, but the way the money was earned was illegal. So we have a solid reason to believe that some intelligence officers accompanied and guided these transactions. So we have an interest of questioning them. We can that could be a first step, and we can also extend it. Options abound, and they all can be found in an appropriate legal framework.
Well, guess that's not happening.
Fuck. Those are like...
Yeah, it's big.
That's giant middle finger.
You can go... You can take you down.
That was... Yeah. That was no pulled punches at all. Mm-hmm. That was... He basically insinuated that Clinton was a criminal. In a sidebar.
Hey, from
like these guys stole a shitload of our money, and they gave money to the Clinton campaign. We should investigate and see how that money got there and where it went. And then it's like that opens up the whole thing.
Hey,
I think that's why CNN calls whatever this is a disgrace. It's a disgrace. They brought up Clinton. It's like, fuck.
You know what, man? There's like...
By the way, you're going to have a bunch of Putin dick riders now, too. You're going to be dick riding Putin.
Who?
Like a bunch of people.
Oh. I don't dick ride nobody, you know. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't be like favorite. There's no favoritism.
Yeah.
You should be a skeptic, not a fan. That's why I'm getting angry, you know, like the video I'm telling you about. Like these two dudes, they're in the military, like kids, man, they're kids, and they have, I guarantee they have no idea. They're arguing with someone, yelling at somebody. It's like two sides going. It's like, what are you fucking doing? Oh my god, both of you are dumb, just dumb people, and they wonder why there's a big pile of shit. like you know, like it's not my team.
But the thing is, every so often, there's a certain side that seems somewhat correct.
Yeah, correct
with certain actions
to a certain degree.
But nonetheless, that's still there, right?
It's like the lesser two evils, man. Like, you know, does it matter? Sure, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like, well, you guys still do this shit, so it really doesn't matter. You know, it's like, oh, Obama really did do this. I'm like, yeah, but look at every whole shit he's done, and the guy before him, and the guy before him, and so on. And not just them, like senators or whatever, or the Secretary of Defense. It's like, well, you know, James, they did donate to an orphanage. Like, I don't give a fuck. Look at all this crap. It's like, well, Jack the Ripper, you know, he gave a kid some pastries. That counts for something.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No, listen, look, these people don't understand. Like, I feel like they don't understand. Like, there's the, oh, I was wrong. Then there's the act of redemption. No. I never see it. And if we did, it'd be like so like out there that they like you would see some sort of lopsided thing happen.
Yeah, you don't hear apologies till after they're out of office.
They're not really apologies. It's quietly admitting.
Except for Clinton, maybe. But that was just for like the sex scandal.
Oh please, it made him look better.
But yeah,
do you know what I heard? Yo man, that guy's a G, man. It's like, that dude's a fucking freak. I'm not calling him a freak, but a very disturbed individual.
I think he leans towards creeper level.
Disturbed, like I said. We all have everything, though, but still, when there's
it's disturbed when you're by yourself. That seems more like disturbance to me, as opposed to
fair enough.
I acted out on other people. That's creeper level.
Fair enough. Rolling around. Oh, what do we think? Oh, let's get her. It's like, dude. This isn't a toy. It's like he's a grown man in Toys R Us. That's what it's like. Except the toys talk and they have a conscience and a soul. Like, oh, I'll take that one. Oh, yeah.
And did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Да, я хотел, чтобы он выиграл.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because he talked about bringing the U.S.-Russia relationship back to normal.
Продолжаем. Я думаю, вполне вопросы 3 может задать кто-то из российского пула.
I think there can be 3 questions from the Russian pool. Russia Today, you have the floor.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much.
Добрый вечер. Меня зовут
Good evening to everyone. My name is Ilya Petrenko,
телеканал RT.
RT TV channel.
In English. Mr. President, would you please go into the details of possibly any specific arrangements for the U.S. to work together with Russia in Syria, if any of these kind of arrangements were made today or discussed? И если позволите, Владимир Владимирович, тоже вопрос на...
My question to President Putin in Russian. Since we brought up the issue of football several times, I used the football language. Mr. Pompeo mentioned that when we talk about the Syrian cooperation, the ball is in the Syrian court. Mr. Putin, in the Russian court, is it true? And how would you use this fact, the having the ball?
Well, I guess I'll answer the first part of the question. We've worked with Israel long and hard for many years, many decades. I think we've never has anyone, any country been closer than we are.
Oh, yeah.
President Putin also is helping Israel, and we both spoke with Bibi Netanyahu, and they would like to do certain things with respect to Syria, having to do with the safety of Israel. So in that respect, we absolutely would like to work in order to help Israel, and Israel would be working with us. So both countries would work jointly. And I think that when you look at all of the progress that's been made in certain sections with the eradication of ISIS, we're about 98%, 99% there, and other things that have taken place that we've done, and that, frankly, Russia has helped us with in certain respects. But I think that working with Israel is a great thing, and creating safety for Israel is something that both President Putin and I would like to see very much. One little thing I might add to that is the helping of people. Helping of people, because you have such horrible... if you see, and I've seen reports, and I've seen pictures, I've seen just about everything.
Weapons, man,
and if we can do something to help the people of Syria get back into some form of shelter and on a humanitarian basis, and that's what the word was, really, a humanitarian basis. I think that both of us would be very interested in doing that, and we will do that. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, but for now, no specific agreements, for instance, between the militaries?
Well, our militaries do get along. In fact, our militaries actually have gotten along probably better than our political leaders for years. But our militaries do get along very well, and they do coordinate in Syria and other places. Okay? Thank you.
Мы говорили, я уже упоминал об этом.
Yes, we mentioned this. We mentioned the humanitarian track of this issue. Yesterday, I discussed this with...
Wait, we're not going to get I doubt we get a chemical weapons question.
Why can't they ever just,
Didn't the OPCW...
Who do they let in these things, man? Does CNN get, like, first dibs?
No. I think they talk to each other and agree on it.
No, I mean, like, all the reporters, I never hear them ask anything like, do you believe Hillary Clinton is a criminal? What's your opinion on the allegations that the chemical attacks are somewhat liable?
Well,
or disingenuous?
These type of media groups are, once again, they're mouthpieces for the governments.
So they're bitches.
Yeah.
Great.
RT's, I think, is a little different, but who knows? Let's say Putin changed his mind about things like, I'll have to stop funding your channel. Like they disagree with him or something. You have to find out if they have integrity or not. I think they built up enough of a base. Integrity.
Who?
RT.
Oh. You say Putin, Trump, and the rest of the politicians. That means every one of them. I am no fan. Never was I ever. But it's whenever one of these guys are there, or someone, it's like some bad shit happens, and they say, well, it was this. I'm like, how come, like, you know, I'm no genius, you know? And I may not understand everything they say, but I'm like, how come that doesn't make a lot of sense? It's a whole lot of nothing, you know?
Yeah, Trump didn't say anything there. It's like, what's going on is bad. They need shelter, and we need humanitarian aid.
Any comments on the controversial statements?
It's like, what actually happened there, though? You bombed the place,
any comments on the controversial statements regarding the missile attacks regarding the chemical weapons allegations? And with the chemical weapons allegations, how come, is it true that we attacked before we actually knew anything? It was a very bad situation, and we had to leave it to our military personnel who were very, very in depth with the situation itself. And it was just a very bad scenario for all of us to...
Yeah.
Slaps water, runs away.
Nah, he'll just run with that.
It's like, fuck. Like,
and,
come on.
Trump supporters won't even question it.
No, because they're dick... No.
It's 5D chess, man. He's thinking ahead.
I just call them team players. That's all I'm going to call them.
Alright.
They're all team players, man. Whether you're for this guy or this girl or whoever, you're team players. You think it's a game. We won. You didn't win shit.
Alright. Onward.
Fucking unreal.
French President Mr. Macron, and we reached an agreement that together with European countries, including France, we will step up this effort. On our behalf, we provide military cargo aircraft to deliver the humanitarian cargo. And today I brought up this issue with President Trump. I think there is plenty of things to look into. The crucial thing here is that a huge amount of refugees are in Turkey, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in the states that border are adjacent to Syria. If we help them, the migratory pressure upon the European states will be decreased manifold. And I believe it's crucial from any point of view, from humanitarian point of view, from the point of view of helping people, helping the refugees. And in general, I agree, I concur with President Trump. Our military cooperate quite successfully together. They do get along, and I hope they will be able to do so in future. We will keep working in the Astana format, I mean Russia, Turkey, and Iran, which I informed President Trump about. But we do stand ready to link these efforts to the so-called small group of states, so that the process would be a broader one, it would be a multidimensional one, and so that we will be able to maximize our fighting chance to get the ultimate success in the issue of Syria. And speaking about having the ball in our court in Syria, President Trump has just mentioned that we've successfully concluded the World Football Cup. Speaking of the football, actually, Mr. President, I'll give this ball to you, and now the ball is in your court. All the more that the United States will host the World Cup in 2026.
That's right. Thank you very much. We do host it, and we hope we do as good a job. That's very nice. That will go to my son, Barron. We have no question. In fact, Melania, here you go.
You bounced it.
Okay.
The final question from the United States will go to Jonathan Warner from the AP.
Right? It's like the football from the Super Bowl, signed by Tom Brady. Oh, I'll give it to my son. Bounces it on the floor to someone. Grab that.
Nah, she's a big deal.
She's like, I see the future. I have the power. I have all the power. It's mine. Mine, all mine.
I think it looked good.
No.
Where you can't see the keyboard.
Thank you. Question for each president. President Trump, please, you first. Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin Would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Why haven't they taken the server?
Why are we looking for this? I don't know.
Here it comes.
It already happened. The video's playing.
Here it comes.
It already happened. Fuck.
You know what? Don't. Alright, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
For each president, President Trump, you first. Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
Denounce.
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Why haven't they taken the server? Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee? I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting it out and calling it out on social media. Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server?
You're the fucking president. I'm sure you can get it. Unless it disappeared. Yeah.
I was about to say.
Flamethrower. Elon Musk flamethrower just
destroyed it. Boom.
And what is the server saying? With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server. But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server. What happened to the servers of the Pakistani gentleman that worked on the DNC? Where are those servers?
I think he's talking about, fuck, you say his name,
Herbert?
Yuan. Armand or Yuan, some shit like that.
Say it again?
I'm trying to say his name.
Struggle, yes.
Amwan.
Herman?
The Awan brothers?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think that's who he's talking about.
You mispronounced my name.
You just got off on the deal of a lifetime.
You found out my real name, Herman. Gives me like a sack of gold. I'm like, ha 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 ha.
He got off on a crazy deal.
Did he?
Where he can't be tried for past crimes. Can you imagine that?
What?
What kind of plea deal is that?
That's a clean slate.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're good. Even though you're pedophile. Here's a clean slate. I'm not saying he is, I'm just, whatever.
Like, the thing everyone wants from you is your past crimes. Like, that's the exact, so making that some sort of stipulation that someone agrees to.
It's like, dude, listen. Just tell him you're gay, and I'll get rid of all the past crimes. Here's the mic. Go ahead.
They're missing. Where are they? What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I think it's a disgrace that we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people.
To be fair, how can you ignore that?
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
Ignore what?
Powerful. How can you ignore all the email situation? How can you ignore that?
Who do you mean by ignore?
The public.
The feds?
The public.
The public?
Yes. It doesn't matter.
Manipulation. It's not covered on mainstream every day.
So?
Like it is on like YouTube or whatever. They don't look any further than, the nightly news.
What annoys me is like everyone.
Or they don't give a fuck about the nightly news and they watch the nightly TV, late night TV shows.
It's like,
and they're all doing the same thing.
It's like, did you find the gold, Billy? Well, no. How could I? And what Billy doesn't know is everyone has a shovel. You know.
Yeah.
It's buried in everybody's backyard. It's there. Just go digging. You'll find it. You know. You may not know how to dig, but eventually you'll get there. It's like, well, they do it for me. And they hold out like a rock. Like, that's not gold, Billy. That's rock painted with gold paint. You know. So what are we doing here? It's a game. It's a fucking game, dude. We all have a part to play. We do.
In his denial today, and what he did is an incredible offer. He offered to have the people working on the case come and work with their investigators with respect to the 12 people. I think that's an incredible offer. Okay, thank you.
Позвольте мне добавить два слова.
I'd like to add something to this. After all, I was an intelligence officer myself.
Знаю, как составляются соответствующие досье.
And I do know how dossiers are made up. Just a second.
Это первое.
That's the first thing.
Второе.
Not the second thing.
Я считаю Россию демократическим государством.
I believe that Russia is a democratic state. And I hope you're not denying this right to your own country. You're not denying that United States is a democracy. Do you believe United States is a democracy?
А если это так,
And if so,
то
if it is a democratic state, then the final conclusion in this kind of a dispute can only be delivered by trial, by the court, not by the executive, by the law enforcement. For instance, the Concord company that was brought up is being accused. It's being accused of interference. But this company does not constitute the Russian state. It does not represent the Russian state. And I brought several examples before. Well, you have a lot of individuals in the United States. Take George Soros, for instance, with multi-billion capitals. But does it make him his position, his posture, the posture of the United States? No, it does not. Well, it's the same case. There is the issue of trying a case in the court, and the final say is for the court to deliver. We are now talking about the private, the individuals, and not about particular states. And as far as the most recent allegation is concerned about the Russian intelligence officers, we do have an intergovernmental treaty. Please do send us the request. We will analyze it properly and we'll send a formal response. And as I said, we can extend this cooperation, but we should do it on a reciprocal basis, because we would await our Russian counterparts to provide us access to the persons of interest for us, who we believe can have something to do with the intelligence service. Let's discuss the specific issues and not use the Russia and the US relationship as a loose change for this internal political struggle.
It's like, fuck that documentary.
I was supposed to say that. I was like, oh, he's hinting at the 9/11 documentary.
He's like, I saw it. Shit was whack. It was ass.
Oh, yeah,
it was cheap.
Putin's going in. It sounds like he's been holding his back for a minute now. He's like, all right, I got all the American press right in front of me. They can't go anywhere because President Trump is right there. He's trying to talk shit now. Let him know what's up.
A question for President Putin. Thank you. Two questions for you, sir. Can you tell me what President Trump may have indicated to you about officially recognizing Crimea as part of Russia? And then secondly, sir, does the Russian government have any compromising material on President Trump or his family? And then secondly, sir, does the Russian government have any compromising material on President Trump or his family?
I was about to say it.
Who gave this guy more questions?
I know what he said twice. Go back.
President Trump and posture of President Trump on Crimea is well known, and he stands firmly by continue to maintain that it was illegal to annex it. Our viewpoint is different. We held a referendum in strict compliance with the UN Charter and the international legislation. For us, this issue, we put paid to this issue. And now to the compromising material. Yeah, I did hear these rumors that we allegedly collected compromising material on Mr. Trump when he was visiting Moscow. Well, distinguished colleague, let me tell you this. When President Trump visited Moscow back then, I didn't even know that he was in Moscow. I treat President Trump with utmost respect. But back then, when he was a private individual, a businessman, nobody informed me that he was in Moscow. Well, let's take St. Petersburg Economic Forum, for instance. There were over 500 American businessmen, the high-ranking...
He shuts the government down. I heard Trump is here. Let's go spy on him.
The high-level ones, I don't even remember the last names of each and every one of them. Well, do you remember, do you think that we try to collect compromising material on each and every single one of them? Well, it's difficult to imagine another nonsense of a bigger scale than this. Well, please, just disregard these issues and don't think about this anymore again.
And I have to say, if they had it, it would have been out long ago. And if anybody watched Peter Strzok testify over the last couple of days, and I was in Brussels watching it, it was a disgrace to the FBI, it was a disgrace to our country, and you would say that was a total witch hunt. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
I didn't hear him bring up Soros. Whatever. Now let's this is gonna be fun. Don't worry, we're almost done with this video, but this part will be fun. Anderson Cooper.
It's like, and we're done. Blah, 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 blah. Report, Mr. President, Mr. President.
Disgraceful performance by Trump during Putin meeting. I just read the title of it. The video.
I'm just touching this button.
You have been watching perhaps one of the most disgraceful performances by an American president at a summit in front of a Russian leader. Something that I've ever seen.
I said, wait.
An extraordinary press conference. I'm back with CNN Global Affairs analyst Susan Glasser, CNN senior political analyst David Gergen, CNN chief international anchor Christian Amanpour. Christian,
what's disgraceful is that tie. I'm just kidding. What the fuck? What?
Yeah, what was...
What? Other than him possibly, you know, the whole Israel thing. What? And to be fair, I don't even know what he meant by helping them. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Again, thanks to Dawson, I now believe that Israel is not
but they're not going to
government, huh?
They're not going to complain about that anyways.
Probably not.
They're worried about election hacking.
Ah, let's hear it.
President, given the opportunity, asked by a reporter, an American reporter, who he trusted on the issue of Russian meddling, the U.S. intelligence community or Vladimir Putin, he blinked and he went to Hillary Clinton's email server, asked who was responsible. He says, I hold both countries responsible. I think we are all to blame. We have a chance to do some great things. Made no mention of Georgia, shoot down of a Malaysian plane, Crimea, Ukraine, and election interference. In fact, he went on to say all he can do is ask the question about election interference, that Vladimir Putin was very powerful in his denial of it, and the president went on to say he doesn't see any reason why it would have been Russia who interfered in the election.
I think that was the nut graph. I don't see any reason why it would have been Russia hacking into our election. And as you say, went on to talk about the server and the 30,000 emails, etc. And he basically said, in Russia, they would never have let this stuff happen. I mean, it really was quite extraordinary, actually. thought we were going to get out of that press conference with a minimum of damage, and that was really, really extraordinary, as you just said. And he then said,
"What is this?
Weren't you legit at some point, or was she just one of those like legitimate? I'm legitimate when George Bush is in office.
Maybe, or maybe someone's like, listen, we'll buy you out. You want those nice little pearly white shoes and suit? We'll buy you. Let's do it. You know, you like those glasses, don't you? I'll get them for you. Okay, we got her in the bag now. All right, sell out.
Yeah.
Or she was always like that to begin with.
CNN is by far the saddest news channel. Period.
Holy fuck!
At least MSNBC and Fox, like, you know, they hold shape. You know, they stick to their guns.
I don't care. They all are scum.
These guys are just like, I don't know.
They're scum.
I don't know what they are.
They're scum. That's what they are.
They're probably the worst.
They all lie. They all twist the truth.
Counting YouTube, just the internet, and all of television. CNN might be the worst of all of them. Oops, we're sorry for that.
I feel like I'm growing a tumor every time I hear this stuff. I really do.
The conversation's been cut off. That sucks.
I could be I could lead like the healthiest life ever, but somehow just from the pure aggravation of hearing these corrupt people. Well, I'm purposely gonna step over this pothole and say this land is pretty level and safe for children to run around in. Like, what? I can feel it. I can feel it forming. They're gonna like, James, you have a tumor. It's like, I knew it. I could feel it. It's like unbelievable.
That, you know, Putin came up with a great offer as to how to figure this out, which of course Putin responded as he always does with the sort of obfuscation. Yes, we have a sort of treaty on various issues, but you have to send us a formal letter and then we'll respond and then we'll reciprocate, but only in kind. We need to have people of interest, etc. So it's very typical Putin response. But that was an incredible statement.
David Gergen, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, and it's a struggle.
She's talking about, because I was saying this and I was like, wow, he actually said that. About, yeah, you can have you guys come over here and investigate these guys. We want to go over there and investigate some of those guys over there. And she's like, that's truly incredible. Anything else on this tragedy? He just jumps over.
But that was an incredible statement.
David Gergen, have you ever seen anything like this?
But that was an incredible. David Gergen, have you ever heard anything?
It's like high five. How about you? High five? It's like, what?
No, and it's a struggle to put it all together, isn't it?
Look at her face when he did it, though. Like,
I'm telling you, she comes from like a legitimate.
Oh, I thought she was like corrupt.
From in my mind, her origins, from what I remember of her,
against
as
Bush?
Being a journalist.
For Bush?
Just being a journalist. I'm like, oh, she sounds somewhat legit, like impartial, just reporting the news.
People of interest, etc. So it's very typical Putin response. But that was an incredible statement.
David Gergen, have you ever seen anything like this?
She's like, oh, okay.
No, and it's a struggle to put it all together, isn't it? And to comprehend what we just heard. I mean, I've never heard an American president talk that way, but I think it's especially true that when he's with someone, you know, like Putin, who is a thug, a world-class thug, that he sides with him again and again.
This is worthless. A world-class thug?
Bohemian Grove. That guy actually got questioned on the street about that.
Good.
He's like, what people do there, it's their business.
Fuck you. Fuck.
Against his own country's interests, his own institution.
What I do in my basement, and if you hear the cries of children, is my own business. Now, back away. If I have crates that have the shape of some form of cells, then you need to leave me alone. If you have a problem, bring the police. Other than that, shoot.
That he runs, that he's in charge of the federal government, he's in charge of these intelligence agencies.
Oh, he's not.
And he basically dismisses them, and he retreats into this. Yeah, we've heard this again and again, but on an international stage to be talking about Hillary's server and what happened.
It's embarrassing.
Brilliant campaign is embarrassing.
I want to go to Jim Acosta, who's in the room. Jim,
what does that mean?
He's like, it's embarrassing. I'm fine. I'm lost for words. It's embarrassing. That's what it was.
Look at her scratching her head.
He was lost for words, and Anderson Cooper just jumps in. It's embarrassing.
Look at her scratching in. She's like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Isn't it funny? Like, and they're all wearing white, but she's the only one really wearing white, you know? It's like,
Who cares? They're going for some sort of subconscious, subliminal messaging going on.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. You gotta stomp on it.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, Anderson, I think what you were just saying there a few moments ago, I think that sums it up nicely. I mean, this was the President of the United States essentially taking the word of the Russian President Vladimir Putin over his own intelligence community, over his own law enforcement community on this critical question of Russian interference in the 2016 election. And I think when Vladimir Putin was asked that question by Jonathan Lemire of the Associated Press at the very end there, whether or not the Russians had compromising information on President Trump, I thought it was very interesting that Vladimir Putin paused for a few moments, seeming to understand the question, but not exactly sure how to answer it. And there was some nervous laughter in the room. I don't know if you could hear that on the microphones in the room, but there was some nervous laughter. It took all of us by surprise.
It's like, oh, we heard him cough. It was nervous. Like, he scratched his head. That means he's lying. Trump won't believe his own intelligence agencies. They have been proven to be fucking creepy and corrupt as fuck.
Well, they're going after him.
Well, yeah. Seemingly.
Yeah.
Like, hard.
So that's probably why he's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
At the same time, he openly invited these guys to investigate whatever they want to investigate.
You'd have to.
No, he did that straight up.
Well, you have to. I don't really give him anything. You have to. And if you don't, like, okay, even if you didn't do anything, you can't fucking do that. If they made shit up, then we'll find out. Yeah. Or try to.
It sounded as if Vladimir Putin was trying at that point to come up with a good answer, and he didn't really have one. I thought it was striking, Anderson, that the Russian president did offer to allow Robert Mueller's team to come over to Russia and continue his investigation. I'm not sure that would be greeted very well by President Trump, given that that would probably extend the life of the Russia investigation. But I will tell you, it was astonishing. Just astonishing to be in the room with the U.S. president and with the Russian president on this critical question of election interference, and to hear the president of the United States retreat back to these talking points about DNC servers and Hillary Clinton's emails when he had a chance right there in front of us, right there in front of the world, to confront Vladimir Putin and tell him to stay the hell out of American democracy. And he
I told you they're the worst. They're the worst one. Well, stay the hell. Democracy. See, I think
they're dumb. They're dumb people.
Let me try to translate for them. I think what Trump was saying was that if you investigate the servers, you'll find the traces of who hacked the thing in the first place.
That's what I'm talking about.
You have to do investigating.
It's like, no, I didn't hear what I wanted to hear. You, fuck you. Boom.
It's like, hell. Get the hell away from that doorway. In democracy. I told you that it works, man.
Dude, let's make it. Let's somehow gain magical powers.
What the hell are you talking about? Democracy.
Okay, you're not for it. I'm making a planet. You're gonna stay the hell away from it. All the cool people will be there.
I want to see that again, man. I want to see his face.
He's like a horrible wrestler. Hold on.
And Hillary Clinton's emails when he had a chance right there in front of us, right there in front of the world, to confront Vladimir Putin and
he's preparing. See his eyes?
Tell him to stay the hell out of American democracy.
Look at Cooper just standing still.
And he just didn't do it. It was one of those moments, I think. Obviously, we all think this is a very big deal right now, and sometimes these sorts of things can fade away. But I don't think this is one of those moments. This is one of those moments, Anderson, I think, really crystallizes a very critical problem for the United States right now, and that you have the president, the leader of the free world, taking the word of...
Oh my God, I can't.
I thought they were talking about investigation.
This shit's unreal. Holy shit.
They're the worst. By far.
This is insane. I look away for 5 months. I pay attention to the whole gun thing, you know? That was a joke. But this? It's like when they were covering the whole anti-gun thing. I'm like, is it objects that really you know, can't really talk, can't really do anything, you know? Let's see. Oh no, it's people. Oh, let's get to the root of the problem. It's the people's behavior. Nope. What's wrong with this? It's like, this is worse. This is insane. Did you listen? You cannot trust them. That's okay because of their track record. This is insane. I don't understand this. Who's paying this guy? Clearly they didn't pay him for acting because this shit was horrible. I didn't believe you.
Vladimir Putin, who, from all accounts, inside the U.S. government, the U.S. intelligence community, the law enforcement community, attacked American democracy in 2016. You know, when Vladimir Putin was asked whether he wanted Trump to win, that might have been the only honest moment of this news conference, when Vladimir Putin said yes, he did want President Trump to win, and then shortly after that handed him that soccer ball. They came across as playmates on a soccer field.
They came off as playmates on a soccer field.
Dude, this reminds me of like when the news used to be on when I used to get home, and they're always talking about terrorism, weapons of mass destruction, terrorists. It's like
repeating it enough to where
everyone's like, oh, I heard it.
Like the truth.
That means I believe it. Why would they say it that many times? Because they have an agenda, motherfucker.
More than they did international rivals, Anderson. The President of the United States very much yielding the field on this date of Vladimir Putin. Anderson?
Yeah, Susan?
What's funny is that they used to be, I think they used to be seen as just being like moderate, like walking around the middle.
Bipartisan.
But they're just so far gone off like everyone's read. Well, MSNBC will still be, Russia.
Oh, they all suck, man.
And these guys are just,
they all suck.
They just seem incompetent with their reporting.
They all suck. To me, it's like this. Okay, you're a murderer. Okay. You're a murderer and you're a pedophile. You're a murderer and a pedophile and a necrophiliac. You're worse. It's like, no, they're all bad. They're all bad. No one sees this. I don't understand the logic behind this, you know? It's like, well, son, sometimes you just have to, eat the shittiest meal at the table, you know? It's like,
maybe they're tricking us that they're popular. What if they have like bots and all that shit?
They do.
And they're tricking us.
Like on Instagram, some of these celebrities, like 4 million. Like, do you know how many of those are bots? So it's like a trick, you know? It's like, it's weird how you have this many followers, but you get this many like likes or shares or whatever, retweets. It's like views, you know?
Have you ever seen anything like this?
It's really, I think we are going to remember this day for a long time. Sometimes there are indelible images that come out. Certainly, George W. Bush talking about Vladimir Putin's soul. I think this moment is going to go down with that moment, for me at least, to hear the President of the United States attacking Robert Mueller's investigation, questioning the U.S. intelligence agencies, the work of his own Justice Department.
They're apparently infallible.
How dare you question it? How dare you? I was waiting for her to talk more about a soul. I was just waiting. Like, keep going.
Just question her. Like, is there any time in your entire lifetime where there's been any corruption within any of the federal intelligence agencies or whatever? It's like, let's see if you can find one. It's like writing a list for days.
Remember the playground? Remember that? Remember the kid that wanted to swing all to himself? Okay, that's called corruption. All right, it's mine. No one can have it.
Department, while standing literally next to Vladimir Putin, he called the probe a disaster for our country as Russia's leader looked on. He began the summit meeting this morning with that extraordinary tweet in which he said that essentially the United States is to blame for the bad state of relations with Russia. Crimea and the illegal annexation of territory in Europe. The first such armed takeover since the end of World War II was never mentioned.
How many places have we done that to? It's not. I don't even think it's cognitive dissonance.
Specifics?
Oh, just taking over certain parts of the land.
There's reason to believe that it is immense. Like, everywhere we ever been in, we never leave. There's a military base, allegedly, there. Every time that we claim there's some sort of, like,
it can't be
moral obligation to be somewhere, it's for and, you know, evidence shows that it's for a different reason. Then we never leave. And if we're, well, we didn't take it over. I'm like, no, but we toppled the government and we put in somebody else. You know, and we implemented some sort of democratic.
Yeah, we annexed dictators.
Yeah. Or somehow they get taken out, one way or another. Either the people revolted, or he was assassinated, or something happened. And then, oh look, we'll help. It's like, get the fuck away! Oh my god!
This can't be cognitive dissonance.
No, this is why I.
Christine Amanpour.
I like how you point. It's like her name. Yeah. But like I was saying though.
Her, Lady in White.
Yeah.
She should know that of all the fucking scandals that have happened.
My thing is, it's like, how can you? That's why I'm assuming they're all corrupt. You know, there's no way. There's no fucking way. It's like you're in a church and there's like a dead body on the ground and it says atheist and and there's blood on everybody and it's like, yeah, I'm glad we killed him. It's like, what?
That's the thing. They might not view it as corruption.
No, they're
fucking. Thus, it would be hard to call corruption. It'd be called ignorance. They believe they're doing the right thing.
I think it's telling themselves they're doing the right thing, even though, like, deep down they know it's corruption.
Nah, yeah, but
I doubt it, man. I fucking doubt it. It's like, okay, I'll never have to address the problem. I just ignore it.
It might not be an active ignoring. Because remember, these guys are surrounded by each other all the time. It's not like you go to the mall and just talk to normal people. No, these dudes they're all around each other the whole time.
I know.
They go home to their families. They want to go shopping. They're around other rich whoever people.
I think they know it's full of shit.
Yeah, me too. But
until the very last question of the press conference, I think this is one of those moments where, you know, we heard Rod Rosenstein on Friday say, this is not partisan, this investigation. Well, President Trump...
You're not partisan. I don't want to listen to this anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
This is so...
Fuck this shit. Yeah,
they're not being fair. I'm like, who the fuck are you to talk? You know?
They are by far the worst news source you could go to.
Oh my god.
This looks whack. Why does it look whack? Let's leave it full screen. Let's do that.
No, go back.
Yeah.
Look, we're ghosts again.
Yeah.
Woo. That's for Antarctica, right? Yeah. It's the double A's upside down.
Atlanta. Twice.
Cooper's like, yep. You look at him, fold his hands. Like, yep, this isn't bullshit at all. Mm-hmm. Are those really notes, man? Look at him. He's holding something. He's probably, it's all written, all his notes. This is all bullshit, and I know it on every page. You know, just like The Shining, it's written like 500 times.
Yeah.
Constantly. Oh, working no play, it makes Jack a dull boy. It's insane. It's constantly written. Like, there's no way this guy does not fucking know he's full of bullshit. Not just him, but everybody else. I don't understand. You know? How? And if you're on one side, went back when, like, the invaded Iraq, or, I mean, yeah, right? Iraq invasion, Afghanistan, too. It's like, how do you, like, oh, this is horrible. How are you on that side? And now say this is like, you're like, oh, I don't see anything wrong here, you know? And then, oh, fuck him. I don't understand. Do you just guess and you happen to be right? How are you there? I don't, like, you know, if it's not corruption, you know? How?
I mean,
how did you get up in the morning? How did you dress yourself? It doesn't make any sense to me, you know? How do you tell your kids, listen, son, that's not the right thing to do? How? What's going, like, I don't get it, man. Is it just a bunch of, like, happy juice everyone's sipping, you know?
Could just be riding the wave of what whatever someone says, which makes you a weakling mentally, or your actions weakling, whatever. Point is, we're out of here.
I've been out of here a while.
Subscribe and go Expos.
CNN, take her video down. Not like we're popular enough for them to do anything.
CNN, do not take our video down.
Do it.
Just accept.
You won't.
Accept all the